Do you remember 1999? Because I do. It was a simpler time. Eric Estrada was making a comeback. I was straight. And I was starting freshman year in college for the last time. I was happy, horny, and stupid, because I was a comm major. So I've been investigating graduate schools. I looked at rankings. Turns out Miami University of Ohio is ranked number 2 in the nation by Playboy magazine for something. Western Alaska Community College is a new Harvard of the Arctic. And Vanderbilt tried to sell me on its new slogan. It's cool. That's it. I mean, all these schools just wanted to sell me their image. Like a bad Sprite commercial on laxatives. What are you looking at me for? I don't get it either. But as I sat down on the can, I knew why. As the September 7th, 2002 Denver Post explains, colleges and universities are becoming more like businesses by making the task of marketing their image and reputation a full-time job. From spending millions of dollars on marketing campaigns to trying to run at a profit. These meccas of learning are ignoring the very foundations that they were built upon in pursuit of a commercialization of higher education. So let me be your chief educating officer as we explore the problems, causes, and solutions to what Dr. Carmen Artiola Matsumoto of the University of Akron calls a travesty in American higher education. Yeah, that's my mom. Now look, this speech doesn't seek to address the corporatization of higher education where colleges and universities will sell out to the highest bidder. I'm all for that. Always. Rather, the goal is to show how these schools increasingly abuse business practices at the cost of classes, speech programs, and functioning toilets. There are 3 problems associated with this newfound business strategy: obsession with image, for-profit education, and degree inflation. Now, these days, colleges and universities are all fixated on image over academics. For instance, the July 7th, 2002 Baltimore Sun explains that these institutions waste time and money on changing their names to enhance brand image. Beaver College set the precedent 2 years ago when it became Vagina College. I mean, Arcadia College. Obviously, in changing their name, they weren't beating around the bush. Another example, in May, Western Maryland College paid a consulting firm $200,000 just to come up with the name McDaniel. All right, I don't know what's more disconcerting, paying for a crappy name instead of offering more classes and hiring more faculty, or that Arcadia College is now the college formerly known as the Beav. Beavers aren't the only problem. Peacocks are causing a ruckus as well. That is, if peacocks are for-profit education. The October 20th, 2002 New York Times explains that for-profit education has become an $8 billion industry as companies increasingly buy and operate colleges. For instance, Kaplan, the company known for the LSAT, the GMAT, and taking my money, recently purchased a business school at Boston College. Yeah, as if business executives aren't unethical enough. So now Kaplan owns 45 campus-based schools in 13 states offering degrees. The only problem is that for-profit education means only offering profitable degrees, like accounting and strip club management. Finally, the inherent value of degrees is going down. Like heterosexual men seeking women, prospective students worry more about the image of the school they're going to go to than what's inside. On September 24th, 2002, there wasn't much going on in England. So The Guardian wrote this article on Americans in higher education, explaining that the absolute value of a bachelor's degree is being watered down to image, like cheap American beer. It's no longer about what goes into making our beer, horse piss. It's about the ads with the half-naked models, the right name, horse piss light, getting a good ranking, rig, and the half-naked models. And the half-naked models. The causes are brought to you in part by Illinois State University, which reminds you on its website, last updated April 15th, 2003, that it's spending $63 million to, Rob, you want to tell us? Redefining normal. All right. You see, it's cool because it's normal, as in Illinois State's in Normal, Illinois, and so they're redefining normal, and that's why it costs $63 million. There are two causes: the rankings game and hyper-competition in the job market. First, rankings have become the only way schools think they can differentiate themselves. In fact, the September 22nd, 2002 Washington Post explains that in a survey of 241 college and university presidents, more than half admitted to implementing programs only to improve rankings. The other half lied. Unfortunately, these programs are about as good at improving academics as the UN is at stopping genocide. Now, no more genocide, you hear? Stop it. For instance, Virginia Commonwealth University is spending $400,000 to influence student opinion so that it can move from Tier 3 to Tier 2 in U.S. News and World Report's rankings. Yeah, let's trick students into thinking that they're getting an actual education. Professor, I don't get it. Oh, but you do. Second, the need for super degrees is going up because the job market stinks. I mean, you know that when Hispanics are leaving the country to find work, things are bad. So why am I still here? Because I like picking fruit. The September 13th, 2002 Pittsburgh Post-Gazette explains that unemployment continues to hover around 6%, causing record numbers of applications to graduate schools. For instance, the Gannett News Service of January 3rd, 2003 explains that the number of applications at the University of Texas at Austin has gone up 30% in the past year. So even if people aren't making a run for the border, they are making a run for that extra JD, MBA, or PhD. And more people in schools means more degrees. And boom, you got degree inflation. The solutions are brought to you in part by The Ohio State University, which reminds you on its website, last updated April 14th, 2003, to, as its campaign says, do something great. Like riot. Solutionally, let's examine the institutional and individual level. First off, colleges and universities don't need to stop marketing. They need to stop dumb marketing. Slogans and rankings don't make a good university. Beer and football does. Now really, reputation and tradition do. Self-promotion in itself isn't a bad thing, but students and schools should use recruitment tools like campus visits, interactive websites, and student representatives, which are all cheaper and less expensive. Besides, what made a school like Harvard a great university wasn't a marketing campaign. It was a bunch of rich white nerds. On a personal level, represent your school. Become a student representative outside of speech. And tell people the truth. If you hate your school, don't tell them how wonderful it is. Tell them that the bathrooms haven't been working in decades and that they're spending so much money on a campaign that they might as well call it Redefining Nigeria. But if you love your school, tell them why. Tell them that you get chills every time you hear the school song and that the professors still take pride in teaching, despite the horrendous budget cuts. So we've looked at the problems, causes, and solutions to this commercialization of higher education. Yeah, I know, it wasn't pretty, but I am. Not going to graduate school. Instead, I founded my own marketing company. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm a real CEO, I can advise colleges on how to develop cost-efficient marketing campaigns. You can tell me what you think of my latest one. I call it Colleges and Universities. We learn here.